Oh man, this party sucks. All they do is play Billie Eilish remixes. Oh, hey dude, I didn't see you standing there. Do you know where the drinks are? Do you hear that? There's some like creepy music play. Okay, it doesn't matter. You obviously seem like you're busy. I'm gonna leave. I did realize that I'm the only black guy here at this frat party, so I don't think I should be here anymore. I'll let you continue doing what you do. See you later. Hey, what's up everybody? It is me, Anthony, here to give you guys another movie review for a movie that you probably have never heard of, a straight to VOD movie. And this time we're going to be looking at the horror slasher film Initiation. So I grew up in a time where Scream was the big slasher film of the early 2000s. Like, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, Scream was the movie. Wes Craven, you had Ghostface, and you had that commercial that he was on all the time. He's like, "What's up? What's up?
Yo, Dugan, pick up the phone. Yo.
What's up?
And over the years, a lot of slasher films have tried to imitate the Scream formula. Some of them have done it really well, some of them haven't done it really well. For the most part, there isn't a lot of Scream clones, good Scream clones out there, but this movie, Initiation, I think it comes close to being that exact Scream clone, but not too on the nose where you're just like, okay, it's basically Scream. There's a lot of differences that they put in this film that makes itself stand out from the Scream formula and makes it its own film. During a university's pledge week, the carefree partying turns deadly serious when the star athlete is found impaled in his dorm. The murder ignites a spree of sinister social media messages, sweeping the students and police into a race against time to uncover the truth behind the school's dark secret. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. What is the good stuff about this movie and what is the bad stuff about this film? We'll start off with the positive stuff, and we you know, you're asking yourself, is the killer worthwhile? Is he interesting? Is he entertaining? And long answer short, yes, he's very entertaining. He's very interesting. He has a presence about him. Every time he's on screen, you know he's about to kill somebody because, I mean, he's the killer, so you know. And the killer in this film is very similar to Ghostface's character in Scream because, you know, he has a mask, he's going around killing people in the sorority. It's very similar to Scream, but in this one, the thing that makes him stand out is he has a drill. He drills people, and that was very jarring the first time you see that. This the first kill that he does with the drill, the power drill. I was like, okay, I see you. I see you. Another thing I like about this movie is it just feels like a classic slasher film, and I know that could be taken negatively because you're just like, oh, it's just copying all the other slasher films that came before. But you know, sometimes you just really want to just go back in time, but not really go back in time. You want to watch something classic in the modern era. And this film also does something that I think is really hard in today's horror and especially slasher films in general, is the red herrings in the film. You know, usually you can kind of figure out who the killer is or who is your like top three suspects in the film. In this film, in the beginning I was like, okay, it's definitely this guy. They totally set it up. It's like a classic way they set up the film. But then I kind of thought, it was like, well, if I'm thinking about the way that they used to do it like in Scream, then it can't be this guy. And by the end, the people that I thought that were the killer were not the killer. I was totally surprised. But my favorite thing in this film by far is the third act of this movie. It's bonkers. It's really, really well done. Again, I know I keep on talking about Scream, but you can totally see the influence that the director and the writers had from Wes Craven's Scream in this film, particularly in that third act. I mean, it was great. I really enjoyed it. Again, like I was saying, the killer's presence is really prominent every time he's on screen. You can really feel it. I love the score that they play with him when he's on screen, when he's about to do his kills. You get a lot of that in the third act. They do a lot of shots that we are used to in slasher films, like they're hiding behind a pillar and the killer's coming up and just looking around. I think it's not anything that we haven't seen before, but just the way that they do it in this film, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. But everything can't be sunshines and rainbows, so there is some negative stuff that I have about this film. And I will say the main thing, the biggest problem that I have with this film is it's slow. it takes a long time to get to the meat of this film. You only see the killer about, like, I'll say like 3 times throughout the film. And I know what you're saying. You're probably like, oh, that's good, because we don't want to see the killer a whole bunch of time, because then once you see the killer a lot, then it kind of just diminishes the killer's presence. And I hear that. I totally get that. It's just everything else leading up to the point where we do see the killer on screen is the dullest, most boringest, slow stuff ever. We're stuck with these characters, and we have to, you know, have dialogue with these kids. You know, I'm gonna call it kids, they're all in college, and they're just not interesting at all. You don't care about them. They try to do a little bit of things where, you know, oh, this girl has gone through something, or this other character has gone through something, and they try to get you to care for these characters, but for the most part, you're just like, when are you gonna die? You know, when you gonna get killed? And it doesn't help that the acting is what's a nice way to say this? It's no bueno, okay? It's not very good at all. The bad acting mixed with the me not caring for the characters at all combined, and then us having to wait so long for something to happen in this film, all that mixed together just brings the movie down just a couple of points down for me. But overall, I still enjoyed this film. I thought the killer was good. I thought the atmosphere when the killer is there, it's good. I thought the whole premise, it's, you know, it's something that we've seen before. A killer in a sorority in a college setting, we've seen it before. But I think there's stuff, you know, new enough stuff in this film for, you know, people that are fans of the genres, particularly the slasher genre, to enjoy it. But guys, let me know what you think of Initiation in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think this is pretty much a Scream clone? Or do you think that there is just enough stuff in here to let it stand out on its own? Be sure to check out my Twitter so you can stay up to date with my channel. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And remember, guys, keep watching movies.